Welcome back to Mr. Yolok's English channel.
We're so glad you're here. Let's get started.
Hello and welcome back to the Deep Dive. I am excited to be here with you today.
Me too.
We have a stack of research, we have our coffee, and we're ready to go.
Absolutely.
But I have to be honest with you. When I looked at the topic for today, I was a little bit, confused.
Confused. Why is that? What's confusing?
Well, usually on this show, we talk about these big topics. We talk about space travel or ancient history or the future of technology.
Right, the heavy stuff.
The heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But today, we are talking about daily routines. It just feels a little simple. I mean, everybody wakes up, everybody eats lunch. Is there really enough here for a full deep dive?
I am so glad you asked that.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is exactly what I thought when I first started studying language. I thought, I want to talk about philosophy. I want to talk about art and politics.
Of course. The interesting things.
Interesting things. But here's the reality. If you are learning English, or any language really, the daily routine is the most important test you will ever take.
The most important test. That is a very big statement.
It is, but think about it. When you meet someone new, maybe at a party, maybe at a work conference, what is one of the first things they ask you after, what is your name?
They usually ask, so what do you do? Or, what's your day like?
Exactly. What do you do all day? It is the absolute foundation of conversation.
Yeah.
It is how we connect with other humans. It's how we find common ground. If you can't describe your morning in a natural way, you can't really tell your story.
You can't share a piece of your life.
You can't. And the source material we have today, the series from the Mr. English podcast, is fascinating because it shows us that this topic is not simple at all.
Okay.
It is full of traps.
Traps, like mistakes waiting to happen.
Everywhere. There are grammar traps, vocabulary traps, even, cultural traps.
Okay, now I'm interested.
So our mission today is to look at this source material, which features these two characters, Emily and Paul, and really analyze exactly how they describe their lives. We're going to break down the why behind the words they choose.
Okay, you've convinced me. I'm ready to be a student again. Let's look at our source material. We've got this podcast series, and the hosts introduce these two very, very different characters.
Yes, and this is a classic storytelling device, isn't it? We have the ideal versus the reality.
Right. So first we have Emily.
Emily.
Emily seems perfect. The source describes her as energetic. She is healthy. She's a morning person.
She is the person we all want to be.
We all aspire to be Emily, yeah.
And then we have Paul.
Ah, Paul. I feel like I know Paul.
Paul is the person we actually are.
Yes. He's relatable. He rushes. He's a bit stressed. He loves his coffee. He's a classic office worker.
So we're going to follow Emily and Paul through one entire day, from the moment the alarm clock rings to the moment they close their eyes.
And we are going to stop at every single step, see what we can learn about the language, about the culture, and about ourselves, maybe.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Section
1, the morning routine. The sun is coming up. The alarm clock is ringing.
And right away, in the very first moment of the day, we hit the first major point of confusion for English learners.
Which is?
The difference between waking up and getting up.
To me, those sound like the same thing. If I'm awake, I'm up.
Right. Not exactly. And the source material makes a very, very specific distinction here. Let's look at Emily. The text says she wakes up at 6:30 a.m.
Okay, 6:30, that's early.
It is. But she stays in bed for 5 minutes.
Because her bed is warm and comfortable and the world is cold. I understand that.
We all understand that. So at 6:30, her eyes are open, her brain is on, she is officially awake.
It's a mental state.
It's a mental state, exactly. Wake up means you are no longer sleeping, your consciousness has returned.
Okay, but she's still horizontal. She's under the blanket.
Correct. Now, get up is a phrasal verb, get plus up. This describes a physical movement. It means your feet touch the floor, you stand up, you physically leave the bed.
So it's possible to wake up at 6:30, but not actually get up until, say, 7:00.
Yes, and honestly, I think many, many people do exactly that.
This brings us to Paul. He's our reality check.
He is. The source says Paul wakes up at 7 a.m., a little later than Emily, but he doesn't get up until 7:15 a.m.
A 15-minute gap.
And this 15-minute gap is very interesting and very modern. The source material talks about a specific habit Paul has. He reaches for his phone.
Ah, the smartphone trap. I knew it. The source calls this scrolling.
Scrolling. This is such a specific and important modern verb. It describes the motion of your thumb on the screen. You push the content up, up, up.
You're scrolling through news or social media or emails.
Right. And it's funny because scroll used to mean an old piece of paper, like a pirate map or something.
That's true, a completely different object.
But now it is how we consume information. And for Paul, it's a problem, a real problem. He wakes up, his intention is good, but he starts scrolling and suddenly, poof, 15 minutes are just gone.
And now he's late. The whole day starts with a feeling of being behind.
Exactly. So Emily uses her first 5 minutes to gently relax and wake up. Paul loses his first 15 minutes to the screen.
And that one small difference sets the tone for the rest of the morning. Because Paul is late, he misses out on the next big topic. Breakfast.
The great breakfast debate.
I really feel like there are two types of people in this world. People who eat a real breakfast and people who just drink coffee and run.
And our source material highlights this perfectly. Emily, of course, is the healthy one. She sits down. She has what the source calls a big breakfast.
The list is very specific. Eggs, toast, and orange juice. That sounds like a hotel breakfast. It's lovely.
It is. It's ideal. It gives her energy for the day. But notice one very specific detail. She drinks green tea.
Why green tea, not coffee? Is that a cultural thing?
Well, it can be, but in the story, Emily is a podcaster, so she uses her voice for her job.
Okay.
And she says the tea is warm and perfect for my voice. It's a functional choice. She's thinking about her work, even at breakfast.
Smart. Very professional. Now let's look at Paul. He spent 15 minutes scrolling. He's rushing. What does he eat?
The source says, and I quote, "I only had a banana and my coffee."
Only had. That word only says so much.
It does. It implies it wasn't enough.
And a banana is the ultimate fast food, isn't it? You don't need a plate. You don't need a fork. It comes in its own wrapper.
It's the I am late fruit. It's a perfect description. But Paul says something here that I think is really important for learners to notice. He says, the coffee is the most important part of the morning.
I relate to Paul so much.
We all do.
But let's look at the grammar here. Paul says he had a banana. He didn't say he ate a banana. Is that important?
This is a great point. It's a small detail that makes a huge difference in sounding natural. In English, we use the verb have for food and drink all the time.
So I had breakfast, I had a coffee, let's have lunch.
Exactly. You can say eat, of course it's not wrong, but how just sounds much more common, much more conversational.
So the tip for our listeners is don't be a robot. Don't say, I ingested a banana at 7:20 a.m.
Please don't.
Just say, I had a banana.
Precisely. It's softer, more natural.
Okay, so they're awake, they are up, they're fed well, mostly. Now they go to the bathroom.
The bathroom routine. Now, this might seem boring, but the vocabulary here is very specific, and there is a grammar rule here that trips up almost every single learner.
Ooh, what's the rule?
It's all about possessives. Ownership.
Okay, let's look at the list of actions from the source. Action number 1, brush my teeth.
Stop right there. Brush my teeth.
My teeth.
In many other languages, Spanish, French, Italian, for example, you don't say my. You use a reflexive structure. You essentially say, I brushed the teeth of myself.
Right, and if I said, I brushed the teeth in English, what would that sound like to you?
It would sound very strange. It sounds like you are brushing a set of false teeth that are sitting on the table.
Like in a glass of water.
Yes. Whose teeth are they? It's a bit of a creepy image, actually.
That is a creepy image.
It is. So in English, we are very, very possessive about our body parts. I brush my teeth. I wash my face. I comb my hair.
It's always my.
Or his, or her, or your. But you have to show who owns the body part.
Got it. Okay, let's talk about that word comb. C-O-M-B.
Ah, yes. A classic pronunciation trap. English is full of what I call ghost letters.
Ghost letters. I like that.
There are letters that are there in the spelling, but we do not say them. The B in comb is completely silent.
So it rhymes with home or roam.
Exactly. Comb, home. You should never, ever hear a boo sound at the end, not comb.
Got it. And for learners, what is the difference between a comb and a brush? They do similar jobs.
A comb is that flat plastic thing with teeth, a line of teeth. A brush usually has lots of bristles, like a toothbrush. Emily combs her hair to look neat.
And finally, the last part of the bathroom routine.
Yeah.
The shower.
The source contrasts them again here. Emily, our ideal person, takes a shower in the morning. She says the hot water helps her feel energetic.
It wake her up.
It's part of her process for starting the day with energy. And Paul?
What about Paul?
Well, the source doesn't explicitly say, but it's implied he showers at night. Or maybe he just skips it sometimes because he's late.
That seems very possible for Paul.
But the key takeaway for learners is the phrasal verb itself, take a shower.
Right? We don't make a shower or do a shower. We take it.
Yes. You can also say, have a shower. Both are very common. I need to take a shower. I need to have a shower. Either one is perfect.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap of the morning. We have woken up, which is mental. We have gotten up, which is physical.
Right.
We have had breakfast, using the natural verb have, and we have brushed our teeth, using the possessive pronoun.
That's a perfect summary. We are ready to leave the house.
Which brings us to section 2, the commute and arrival.
This is part 2 of the podcast series they analyzed, and this is where the vocabulary shifts from personal care to logistics, getting from point A to point B.
First, they have to get dressed. Paul chooses a comfortable shirt and jeans. Pretty standard.
Very standard. Then, the transition. He says, I grab my bag and keys.
Grab. That's a great verb. G-R-A-B. Why not just say take? What's the difference in feeling?
Grab implies speed. It implies you're doing it quickly, maybe without even looking. You're walking out the door, you reach out your hand, you grab your keys from the hook.
It has more energy than take.
Much more. And it fits Paul's character perfectly because he's always rushing.
And then the journey begins. The commute.
And commute is a great word. It can be a noun and a verb. Your commute is the trip from home to work. But you can also say, I commute for 30 minutes every day.
Ah, okay. And Emily and Paul have very different commutes. This is where we get into the whole public versus private transport debate.
Emily is team public transport. She says, I usually take the bus.
So we use the verb take for the bus too.
We do. You take the bus, you take the train, you take the subway, you take a taxi.
It's a very versatile verb.
It is.
So why does she like the bus? It can be crowded, it can be slow, it can be smelly.
She lists the pros, the advantages, and the first one is key. I don't have to drive.
Right. The responsibility is on someone else.
Exactly. Because she is not driving, her hands and her eyes are free.
And she says she can read a book or listen to a podcast.
For Emily, the commute is found time. It is 20 minutes of relaxation or learning before work even begins.
She's so productive. Now compare that to Paul. He drives his car.
And he immediately lists the cons, the disadvantages. He talks about traffic on the highway.
Traffic, the enemy of happiness and calm.
He says he feels stressed. And this is a very common reality, isn't it? If you drive, you are working. You have to pay attention to everything. If you take the bus, you can just zone out.
I want to ask about prepositions here. This is something that I know trips up a lot of learners. I always get it wrong myself.
It's a big one.
Emily is on the bus, but Paul is in the car. Why? Why the different preposition?
This comes down to what some teachers call the standing rule. It's a weird quirk of English, but it's pretty
The
consistent.
standing rule. Okay, explain.
If the vehicle is large enough that you can stand up and walk around inside it, you are on it.
So you are on a bus. You are on a train. You are on a plane. You are on a ship.
Exactly, because you can stand up and walk down the aisle.
Okay.
But if the vehicle is small and you must sit down to enter it, and you can't stand up inside, you are in it.
So you are in a car. You are in a taxi. You are in a helicopter.
You've got it. That's the rule.
That is actually very helpful. I think that's the first time that's made sense. So I am on the bus, but I am in the taxi.
Exactly. It completely changes the preposition.
Okay, so they have commuted. They've arrived at the office. Now the work begins.
Starting the workday, Paul describes his sequence of actions. First, turn on my computer. Then, check my emails.
Let's look at that verb check. Why not read my emails?
You can say read, but check implies something different. It's more like scanning. You are looking for something new or important. You check your email to see if there are new messages.
Like you check your pockets to see if you have your keys.
Perfect example. Or you check the weather to see if you need an umbrella. It's a quick verification. Read implies you are going to sit and focus on the content for a while.
I see. Paul says he has emails from his boss, from clients, and from friends, and then he says he is busy.
And the source gives a very simple, very clear definition for busy. It just means having many things to do.
Simple, but accurate. This moves us nicely into section 3, the workday and lunch.
Right, so what do they actually do in the office all day? The source lists 2 big common activities: attend meetings and make phone calls.
Attend. That sounds a bit formal.
It is. It's considered standard business English. You can say, go to a meeting and everyone will understand you. But attend a meeting sounds more professional. It just means you are present and participating.
Okay. And make phone calls. This is a collocation, right? Words that just naturally go together.
That's right. We don't do a phone call, we make a phone call.
Just like we make a decision or make a mistake.
Or make the coffee. We make phone calls. It's a set phrase.
After all those meetings and phone calls, they are hungry. It is lunchtime.
The lunch break. And here we go again. We see the huge difference between Emily's and Paul's personalities.
Emily, let me guess, does something healthy and organized.
Of course, she packs her lunch.
Pack a lunch. That phrase means she prepares it at home in the morning, puts it in a container, and brings it with her.
Yes, it saves money, and it's usually much healthier than buying food.
And where does she eat? At her desk.
No, not Emily. She eats a sandwich or a salad in a small, quiet park.
She wants fresh air?
Notice her constant need for peace and quiet. She had a quiet morning, a quiet bus ride, and now a quiet lunch. She is recharging her battery.
And what about Paul?
Paul goes to a cafe down the street with his colleagues.
Colleagues. That's a good word for learners.
It is. It's the professional word for the people you work with. You can say coworkers, that's fine. But colleagues is very common in an office setting.
And unlike Emily's quiet lunch, Paul says they laugh a lot.
Yes. So for Paul, recharging his battery means being social. It's a mental break. He stops thinking about work and just connects with people and has fun.
I think both are important, really. Sometimes you need the quiet park, and sometimes you need the noisy cafe with your friends.
Absolutely. There's no right or wrong way. They're just different styles.
But the workday must end. They have to leave the office.
Emily finishes at 5:00 p.m. on the dot, I imagine. Paul finishes at 6:00 p.m.
He's working a bit later. And Paul mentions that when he leaves, the sun is often going down. He's driving home in the dark.
And he says, by the time I get home, I am a bit tired. And then he describes this universal feeling of relief.
Taking off my shoes.
Is there any better feeling in the world?
I don't think so. You walk in the door, you kick off your shoes. It's like a physical signal to your brain. Work is done. I am home now.
Exactly. He says he wants to relax. He wants some me time.
Me time. That's a great idiom. It means time that belongs only to you. Not to your boss, not to your family, just you.
Time to decompress.
This leads us to section 4. The evening. We've got dinner, chores, and sleep.
Let's talk about dinner. We have the classic cook versus order distinction.
Emily, our hero of health, she cooks dinner. She likes trying new recipes.
And the source notes she uses lots of vegetables. She is very consistent with her healthy lifestyle from morning to night.
Then there's Paul. He says, very honestly, I am not a good cook.
I appreciate his honesty. So he orders pizza or gets takeout.
Takeout or takeaway, right? Depending on if you're speaking American or British English.
That's right. It's food prepared by a restaurant that you pick up or have delivered to eat at home.
And order pizza is a great verb phrase on its own. It's so common.
It implies using a phone or an app. It's a complete modern action.
Now, after dinner comes the worst part of the day for many people, the chores.
The source identifies wash the dishes as the least favorite part of the day.
I don't know anyone who likes washing dishes.
It's true, but it is necessary vocabulary. You wash the dishes, then you dry the dishes, and then you put the dishes away. It's a 3-step process.
Then finally, some real relaxation. They watch the news or a funny show.
This is what you could call passive relaxation. You sit on the sofa and you just let the TV entertain you. Your brain is off.
And then bedtime. The cycle is almost complete.
Emily has a very specific bedtime routine. She reads a book.
While reading, why not watch videos on her phone like Paul probably does?
She says it calms the mind. And very importantly, it makes her eyes get tired.
That's a good point. If you look at a phone screen, the blue light actually wakes your brain up.
It does. A book, on the other hand, a physical book, naturally puts you to sleep. It's much better for your sleep quality.
And she goes to sleep at 10:30 p.m.
And she wakes up at 6:30 a.m. She gets her 8 hours. It is a perfect, healthy cycle.
Paul is a bit of a rebel, as always. He stays up until 11:00 p.m. And on weekends, the source says he stays up late.
Stay up. That's another great phrasal verb. It means to remain awake, to not go to bed.
Right. I stayed up all night studying for the exam, or I stayed up to watch a movie.
Perfect examples.
So we have done it. We have walked through an entire day with Emily and Paul.
But we are not finished. This is the deep dive, right? We don't just want to know what they do. We want to know how to talk about it like a fluent, natural speaker.
This brings us to section 5, the best way learning strategies. This is the really practical part. The source material shares 3 secret strategies for fluency.
And these are the tools that take you from sounding like an English student to sounding like an English speaker.
A huge difference. Strategy number 1, sequence words. The source calls them the glue.
I love this metaphor. It's so good. Imagine you are building a house. The bricks are your verbs. Wake up, eat, go to work.
Okay, a pile of bricks.
A pile of bricks, but if you just pile them up without any cement, any glue, the wall just falls down. It's not a structure.
And it sounds terrible. The source gives a robot example.
Yes, it sounds like this. I wake up. I eat food. I go work.
Ugh, that is painful to listen to. It sounds robotic, unfriendly, and very, very basic.
Exactly. So we need the glue. We need words that connect the ideas. Words like first, then, next, after that, and finally.
These are also called transition words or discourse markers in textbooks, but glue is much better.
Much better. Let's try to fix that robot sentence using the glue.
Okay, first, I wake up at 7:00, then I make a strong coffee. After that, I drive to work.
See? The difference is incredible. It flows. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It sounds like you're telling a little story, not just reading a list.
So strategy 1, use the glue. It connects your bricks.
Strategy number 2, adverbs of frequency.
Okay, that sounds like a heavy grammar term, adverbs of frequency. It sounds a little scary.
It sounds scary, but it is so simple. It just answers the question, how often?
Right. How often do you do something?
The source gives us 3 main levels, which is a great way to think about it.
What's level 1?
Level 1 is always. This is 100% of the time, no exceptions.
I always brush my teeth in the morning. I hope that is true for everyone listening.
Me too. Then there's level 2, usually. This is, maybe 80% or 90% of the time.
Emily says, I usually take the bus. That means most days she does, but maybe on a rainy day, she takes a taxi instead.
Exactly. It shows her normal habit. And level 3 is sometimes. This is maybe 50% or less.
Sometimes I order pizza. Sometimes I stay up late on weekends.
Yes. So why are these words so important? Because they add texture and honesty to your speech. If you just say, I take the bus, it's a flat fact. If you say, I usually take the bus, it describes your life more accurately. It sounds more nuanced.
It gives you wiggle room. It makes you sound more human. I like that.
And finally, strategy number 3. This one is my favorite. It's not a rule, it's a game. It's called the 1-minute challenge.
I tried this yesterday, actually, to prepare. It is much harder than it sounds.
It is. Explain the rules for our listeners.
Okay. You take your phone, you open the timer app, you set it for exactly 1 minute, 60 seconds, you hit start. And you have to describe your entire day, from waking up to sleeping without stopping.
No pausing at all.
No pausing, no long. You just have to keep talking, keep the words flowing until that timer beeps.
Why? What is the point of stressing yourself out like that?
That's the magic. The source says it helps you find the gaps.
The gaps. That is a brilliant concept.
It really is. So I was doing it yesterday. I said, okay, first I wake up, then I get up, I brush my teeth, I go to the kitchen, and I put bread in the hot machine, the bread cooker, and I just froze.
You forgot the word for toaster.
I completely forgot the word toaster. My mind went blank. I stopped talking. The timer kept going. I felt so silly. But you know what I did the second the timer finished?
You looked up the word.
Immediately, I grabbed my phone and typed machine for bread. And I will never forget the word toaster again.
That is the power of this challenge. It forces your brain to panic a little bit. And in that moment of panic, you truly realize what you don't know.
Right. If you are just reading a book or watching a movie, you think you know all the words. But when you have to produce them yourself under pressure, the truth comes out.
It's a stress test for your active vocabulary. I highly, highly recommend it to everyone.
So to review the strategies, we have the glue words like first and then. We have the adverbs of frequency like usually and sometimes. And we have the 1-minute challenge to find our gaps. Those are 3 solid takeaways.
They are very practical.
Before we wrap up, let's do a little rapid fire review. I'm going to throw a category at you from the day, and I want you to give me the chunks, the key verb phrases we learned today.
Okay, I'm ready. Test me.
Okay. Category.
Yeah.
Morning hygiene.
Brush my teeth, wash my face, comb my hair, take a shower.
Perfect. Category.
Commuting.
Get dressed, grab my bag, take the bus, drive the car.
Category. The office.
Turn on my computer, check my emails, attend meetings, make phone calls. Very good. Category. Dinner time.
Cook dinner. Order pizza. Get takeout. Wash the dishes.
And finally, the end of the day, sleep.
Read a book. Go to sleep. Stay up late.
Perfect.
Yeah.
For everyone listening, if you can master those lists of chunks, you have the fundamental building blocks of this entire conversation.
You do. And remember the final question Emily asks in the podcast series. She asks the listeners directly, what is the first thing you do every single morning?
And she doesn't mean wake up. That's a given.
No. After you wake up, after your eyes are open, what is that very first action? Do you drink a glass of water? Do you stretch? Do you immediately look at your phone, like Paul?
I think for me, let's see, first I wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put on my glasses. I literally can't do anything else if I can't see.
That's a very practical and necessary start to the day. For me, I think it's drinking a big glass of water.
So we want you, the listener, to try to answer that question for yourself. Use the sequence words. First, I.
And then try the 1-minute challenge. Seriously, do it. Do it with a friend or classmate. It is much more fun if you can laugh at each other's forgotten words.
Learning together is more fun. That is a great note to end on.
It really is. It makes the process so much more enjoyable.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into daily routines. I have to say, I was wrong. I hope you all realized that the simple things in language are actually quite deep and incredibly important.
The basics are the foundation. Master the routine and you can master the language.
Well said. Stay brave, keep practicing, and we will see you on the next deep dive.
Goodbye, everyone. Keep up the great work.